Hi everyone, it's Leona with Leona's Designs. I am here with another slow stitch with K3n. It's week 30. I can't believe it's already week 30 this year, and these weeks are just zooming by. And you'll probably notice I don't have my glasses on. They were glaring in the light, so I didn't want to put you through seeing that glare, so I took them off. But I will be putting them back on for my stitching, otherwise I might not see where to poke that needle. But anyway, this week we're going to be doing some cloth folding in our slow stitching, and it was very interesting to watch K3n's video and how she created her piece with cloth folding. So I'm excited to get going on this project. So I'm going to meet you at my stitch desk and we'll get started. Okay, so this is what we're going to be working with today. I think it's a piece of like synthetic wool, just a small square or rectangle, and then this is like a piece of chiffon. And I was hoping to use this beautiful purple scarf and this piece of wool. I think it's probably from a blanket, but this wool is just really too thick for me to comfortably stitch through, so I can't use this. I really want to use the purple. But I think this will work. This is easy to stitch through, and what we are going to do is what K3n showed. She took a piece, she had silk that was twice as wide as her little rectangle piece that fits in the journal, and we just kind of fold it up. Just do random folding and stitching until we get this whole piece on to the rectangle. And you can just fold it or gather it however you want to, or kind of however your cloth wants to go, or however your needle wants to push it. So it's just kind of a relaxing, fun project. So I've got one strand of green embroidery floss in my needle, and I'm just going to get started here. I'm just gonna kind of stitch down this side and then start just kind of folding it up and see what we get. I think this is the right side. I think this is the right side. And this was just a scrap that somebody gave me. I think it was from, I'm just going to fold it over as I stitch it down. I think it was part of the bag that I got from a lady who had been creating art quilts, and she was giving it away. I'm not sure if it was hers or if it belonged to someone she knew, but she had said she wanted it to go to someone who would use it in creating art, and I assured her I would use it, so she very graciously gave it to me. So I am trying to use it in my art. So what I'm doing here is I'm just, I'm just doing a running stitch down the edge and folding over this edge of this chiffon. attaching it to this green piece of, I think, synthetic wool. And we're going to see what kind of art we create. K3n's turned out very elegant, I thought. At one point I thought it reminded me of smocking. If you've ever seen any smocking done, I think it looks very beautiful. I've never tried it myself, but I think that would be fun to try too. So K3n was talking about folding and different ways and things that we fold, and it was really interesting. I mean, when you stop to think about it. We fold our arms, we fold our clothes, we fold what else do we fold? We fold sheets and blankets. And according to the poem that Tennessee Williams wrote, that K3n quoted, he said, "The tender things are those we fold away." So I guess you could say we fold tender things. So now I'm just going to start folding this cloth and see how it ends up. I guess you could say you're gathering it also, but it really could end up like this. I'll get a little closer so you can see better. So these are just kind of folds that the cloth is making. And I'm going to start stitching them down. I think this is how K3n did it. Maybe she started on this side. Just kind of, yeah, I think she did. Okay, let me tie off my thread. And then we're going to start on the other end. Put a knot in here. And then we'll start folding it up here. Oh, I hope I'm doing it right. So now I'm stitching down this other side. And then we'll be folding it more and more. I suppose you just heard a dog bark. I think that's my neighbor's dog. Must be going out for a walk. It's a Sunday afternoon here, and it's not real warm. It's about 76. But the sun finally started shining. It's been kind of, the last couple of days, it's been kind of like fall weather. It's gotten really cool in the evenings and kind of chilly overnight. So I'm like, no, I'm not ready for fall yet. We still got summertime coming. So now let's see. Go start stitching here. Whoops, guess I better. Oh my goodness, better start at the other end. Better pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, go in there. Okay, so now I stitched this edge. I stitched this edge. So now we have this part that we need to fold in and create something with. This probably isn't the way K3n did it, but it's the way I'm doing it. So we're really supposed to just embrace the cloth and do our own thing. As she says, you do you. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just making some folds and seeing what I come up with. It's just kind of a relaxing, exciting adventure. See what you can come up with. So there's one fold, and you could just, you know, continue doing that all the way across, or you could kind of mix it up and make bigger ones or smaller ones. So for a couple of them, I'm gonna just do it this way, and then I might change it up. I'm not sure. See how much thread I have for this, and I might have to rethread my needle. Now I wouldn't have to stitch this down. I could just leave it like that and then go on to the next. Stick a little variation. Or I could stitch it all down the same way I did the first two, which I'm going to do. Okay. So there's what we have so far, and I'm going to just continue on and see what I come up with. Maybe do a little backward folding. Instead of folding it this way, fold it this way. Or just do this. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to keep stitching it, and I'm going to have to rethread my needle anyway, so I'm going to pause this and I'll be back. Okay, so here's what I've come up with. I just kept stitching those folds down, and they look like pleats. They actually are kind of like pleats, even though they're not open at the bottom. But then I ended up with this kind of blank space here. So what I'm going to do is just do some stitching. I think I'm going to do a fly stitch down this blank area, and then maybe do some cross stitching here, or some French knots, just kind of something to decorate it up. think I'm going to make this be the bottom and this be the top. Because I might want to put a pin in the bottom and attach something like K3n did on her piece. So I've got another needle threaded with some green, and I'm just going to now stitch down this blank area with the fly stitch. And if you haven't done the fly stitch, it's pretty easy, I think. Come up on one side, you go down on the other side, and then you keep your loop, and then you come up in the middle of the loop, just a little bit down from where you went in. It'll come up right in the middle, and then you pull, and you make a V. Oops. If you can see. And then you make a little, like a little leg down, or a little branch down, I guess you could call it. And then you go back in. And then you end up with this little, what looks like a Y. And then you keep doing that. You can stay as close together as you want, or make it farther apart. I think it looks really pretty. I'm going to come up in the middle right where I ended there with the previous stitch. Whoops. Came up too close to where I went in. So I didn't really get a V. Try it again. Up, back in, come up in the middle, a little farther down, and then make a little leg. And I'm just going to keep doing this all the way down. And see what I end up with. And I'll be back. Okay, I've got my fly stitches all down this side, and I think what I'm going to do now is make some French knots up here in the middle of this one, just for something different. Oops. Of course, my thread comes out. So this isn't a very, dramatic piece. Oops. It's just, thread doesn't want to go in the needle now. It's just kind of basic, simple stitching, and I guess what you could call meditative stitching, where you're just focusing on stitching and nothing else. Sorry, this thread doesn't want to go back in the needle. So I'm going to use the needle threader. lesson in threading a needle, I guess. Needle threading 101. What to do and what not to do. First, put the needle threader in the eye of the needle. Which apparently it doesn't want to do. There, I think I got it in there now. Then put the thread in the loop of the needle threader, and then pull, and you got your needle threaded finally. Sorry you had to watch all that. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 4 wraps of it on the needle to make this French knot. And hopefully we will not have a bunch of problems here. 2, 3, 4. Pulling the thread down. And just going to keep going up until I don't have enough thread. And then we'll come up with something else for, I think the next side I'm going to do some little crosses. You know, there's no set thing that you can do. It's just whatever you want to do. Just maybe practice your stitches to see what you feel like doing. I was thinking about when I was stitching a fly stitch about folding, and I was thinking for the last couple days I've been folding a tortilla to make my chicken wraps. Last couple days I've been eating a chicken wrap and folding the tortilla shell, or not shell, the tortilla to wrap my chicken and cheese in. And I was watching my little great-granddaughter yesterday, and we were folding blankets and folding pages in a book, and I was folding her in my arms. So folding is a part of our lives. Something that we probably don't think about very much. But I do like the verse of that poem that says, "The tender things are those we fold away." So it's like folding memories, folding good, tender memories away in our heart or in our mind. 4, I think I can get one more French knot. Yep. I'm going to thread my needle, and I will be back because I don't want to put you through that nightmare again if it happens. Okay, so I did finish my French knots. I added some crosses here, and I did a few little seed stitches down here. So I was trying to think, should I call it done or should I do something else? And I have this piece of chiffon here. It's kind of almost like a scarf. And I thought, maybe I should just fold some of this up on top and just add that for a little dramatic effect. Just to see what happens, you know? Maybe try to make this into a little flower right up here on the top. And then just kind of couch this down. So I'm going to do that, and we'll see what happens. Just going to kind of stitch right through the middle of that. See what happens. See what we get. Might put a button on this just to make it look like a little flower. I mean, why not add a little drama to this kind of plain basic piece? I just going to couch this part down here. Maybe just bring it around the bottom. I'm going to snip it off, I think, maybe. Oops. Go snip it off maybe right here. This is another piece of that art quilt material that I was given. So I'm glad to be able to use that. So I think I'm just gonna fold it over on itself a few times and kind of stitch that down or couch it down. Just add a little drama to this piece because it was just pretty basic. So, I mean, it's endless what you could do. I mean, you know, could come up with all kinds of ideas. It's kind of fun. I could just leave this flap like that. Or I could tack it down. Well, of course, my needle comes unthreaded again. Wow. So, let's see if I can get it threaded easily. If not, I will pause it so you don't have to continue watching. Let's see. Yay. All right. Ouch. I don't think this needle likes me. Okay, let's see, what do I want to do now? Just gonna put it down here in the corner. Kind of open it up a little bit. Kind of an abstract flower. Maybe I will leave it open continue folding it down. Let's see. I will fold it down until the very end. And I am going to get a button to put in there. So I'm going to pause it and go find a button. Well, this is it. I stitched this piece of chiffon, scarf, whatever it is, down. And I added the 2 buttons, which I think really complement it well. And then I added a few little seed beads here. And lo and behold, what does it look like? It's an L. So my cloth formed an L, which is my first initial for Leona. So pretty happy with that. It ended up looking pretty classy now, a little more elegant than that plain piece I started out with. So I'm happy with it. It was really, really fun. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope I did inspire you in some way to just take some cloth and start folding it and see what you end up with. And just be creative, just for fun. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you again with my next video. I'm not sure what that will be, but if you're not subscribed, subscribe so you get a notification. And if you are subscribed, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate all my subscribers, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.